What's going on, guys? And welcome to the Tuesday, February 20... What's today? 23rd?
23rd, yeah.
23rd, February 23rd edition of WZR Radio here on WZROnline.com and a bunch of other websites. I'm Ryan Clark. He's Matt Boone. We're going to be here for about the next 2 hours. Talk pro wrestling. We got a lot to talk about, man. We had... we had UFC 110 on Saturday. We had the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. On Sunday night, we had Monday Night Raw last night.
We got NXT tonight.
That's right.
Spoilers, NXT. All that stuff. Yeah.
Lots of good stuff. We got we had the Ric Flair thing with Jesus, man. Poor Flair. You know, I mean, you know the impact is when fans are gonna get on his ass for that. There'll be an interesting chant, I'm sure. No, without a doubt. But well, they don't have to take TV for 2 more weeks, so maybe it'll pass over by that point.
Right.
But good God, man, he he goes out. The problem is I don't believe in marriage, and here's the deal. Marriage is a piece of paper, right? And if you go out and you get married,
contract.
It's basically a contract that says, you know what, if you divorce, half of your earnings go to, unless you have a prenup, but half of your earnings go to the ex-wife if you ever split. So what's the point? What's the point of being married? Why don't you just say, I've been with you for so long. They've only been together. I mean, this newest one, the new wife, I think they had their honeymoon in Australia on Hogan's tour. That was their honeymoon. So, I mean, they've only been together for, 3 months, married for 3 months. So
that's like his 4th or 5th wife or some crazy number by now, yeah?
Yeah, it's something. I think it's his 4th. But, it's crazy.
You think you learned after the first one, second one, third one, no? 4th one? Come on, man. That's getting crazy. My brother just got divorced for the second time. He had to give all his furniture away. He had kids, so they raped him on a child support. Like, it's ugly, man.
Oh, it's crazy, dude. They get you on everything, and it's all a piece of paper that says you have to do that. You know what I mean? If you've been together, just consider yourself married and and leave it at that. You know what I mean? We're married, whatever. We don't have to. I guess
move in together. I mean, if you're having kids and you want to have the whole family, then I understand. But
I think it's a girl thing. I think it's a girl thing where they want to feel secure or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they bug the shit out of you, and eventually you're like, "Here's a ring. Leave me alone." Goddamn.
Yeah, I know, Jesus. All right, we'll do this and get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah.
You know, but so we're gonna run down Elimination Chamber.
You know, actually, they announced today that there would be a Raw draft show in late April 26th, I think.
That's right. There's going to be a 3-hour special. Monday Night Raw is going to be 3 hours. They're going to do a draft. We knew that was coming. We knew they were going to have a draft this year. We just didn't know when, and the date has been revealed. So we'll talk about that in the news and run down these pay-per-views. Monday Night Raw from last night. Take your live phone calls in hour number 2. Got another big story.
Well, real quick before you get to the build-up on that, we do have the first poll up for the night. What grade would you give the Elimination Chamber? Obviously, we only have 4 options, so the options are A, B, C, and D. Check your little stream. There's a word poll there. Click it and vote.
Bada bing, bada boom. So,
the big story with Kaz. What do we got this time?
The Kaz. Well,
doesn't die.
No, it doesn't, dude. I keep getting these emails from random girls that basically say they've been with Kaz over the years. Some recent, some years ago. But nonetheless, they've all been with him, and he's been with Tracy for years now. Had a girl named Veronica contact me and sent some photos. No nude photos this time. I'm not going to dupe you like I did last week. But
that was fucked up.
Yeah, that was kind of fucked up. But I have photos where basically Kaz. I mean, Kaz is kind of a slime ball, man. I mean, a player. He sends these girls like photos with a big smirk on his face, a big grin. You know what I mean? Almost, I don't know. I guess he's trying to be sexy or whatever, but sends these girls these photos on their cell phone, and then the girls pass them along to me. So we've got a couple of those tonight, so we can verify this one. I haven't put the story up on the website yet. I'm going to do that. I was going to break it here on WZR Radio, and then put it up on TNAWrestlingNews.com, sit on it over there for a few days, and then post it at the rest of the
Well, as usual, the Army comes first. You save the story for them, and then you let the general public get hold of it. But they get it first dibs.
Exactly. A exclusive WZR radio exclusive tonight. We'll do that in hour number 2. Damn what?
I gotta come up with that fucking. I didn't realize you'd keep pumping out exclusives. I thought there'd be a few and then it would die down. I gotta get like a little sound bit, the WZR exclusive or something like corny.
We need sound bits anyway. Where
you bitched the last time I had them. You threw a fit on the air.
No, that was
the kitty cat.
That was one too many times.
Yeah,
did it. Well, so whatever. We've got our live chat room, WZROnline.com/chat. Once again, WZROnline.com/chat. Get in there. Lots and lots of people. We'll do chat outs here at some point during hour number 2. Before we move on, I got to play the role, and you've heard me all day. I've sent you IMs all day.
Oh, with the fucking snow? Is that what you're going to?
With the snow, man.
Oh,
I'll tell you what. Listen. Let me play the role of weatherman, because this is exciting, my man. We're supposed to get, for anybody that lives for anybody that lives in the Northeast, especially around Albany, New York. That's where I'm based out of. But it started last night. We didn't get much, and then earlier today at about noon, it really picked up, man. And I'm looking out the window now. And it's just, if you guys could look out the window and see how, the snowflakes are like the size of my fucking fist. And it's snowing like 2 to 3 inches per hour, and they say that when we wake up tomorrow, I guess it's supposed to snow throughout the day tomorrow, and we're supposed to get 12 to 18 inches tonight. And then there's a period where tomorrow night it dies down, and then Thursday and Friday, I guess, there's supposed to be another storm that comes up the coast, and another 12 to 18 inches there. So by the time it's all said and done, we're talking between 2 and 3 feet, which is, if anybody's ever seen, you guys in Minnesota and places like that have seen that before, but 2 to 3 feet, get the fuck out of here in the chat. But 2 to 3 feet is a lot of snow. And you know what, for the people in the chat room, just show you, put the link in, weather.com. There's the radar map based out of Albany, New York.
Could you imagine how boring this is for if you're listening and somebody's telling you what their weather is right now?
Get the fuck out of here. So
my
anyway,
God,
I just put the link. We'll put I put the link to weather.com. Now, when you view this map, everybody, if you're in the chat room, go view this map, and you'll see that up near Albany, you see the dark white, right? And they said that there's going to be about an hour or 2 break in between, and you can clearly see that if you look down by Newburgh. There's an area where there's a break, but another storm where you see this green is going to throw up moisture, and we're supposed to get nailed. So about an hour or 2 break, and it's still coming down like crazy right now. But about an hour or 2 break, and then it hits again, and it's supposed to last through tomorrow. So retire from the wrestling website world? No, I'm not going to talk with you.
In a perfect world, man. In a perfect world, I would get enough to where I only have to do one or the other, because it's hard to keep up with. It's a whole different world when when you cover it for a living. You got to kind of be ingrained in that whole world, and keeping up with 2 separate worlds where there's multiple companies in both of those worlds. It's just it's a lot, man.
No, it was crazy. UFC 110 play-by-play, and then Elimination Chamber play-by-play, and then Monday Night Raw play-by-play, SmackDown taping tonight. I put it up on the website all the time. It never ends. There's always something, you know what I mean? And then the fact that you've got, when you put it into perspective, you've got wrestling on Monday night, wrestling on Tuesday night. Wednesday's kind of your day off, unless UFC used to be on the reality show.
Yeah, the Ultimate Fighter.
Thursday, you've got wrestling with Impact. Friday, you've got wrestling with SmackDown. Saturday,
always some kind of MMA event. Yeah.
Some say either boxing or MMA, and then Sunday there's usually a pay-per-view. 3 out of the 4 months during a month there's usually a pay-per-view. So basically, every single day is taken up with some sort of fucking
event
work.
Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of events, I guess we'll run down Elimination Chamber first. I'm not going to go through everything. We'll just kind of highlight the matches, run it down.
One thing I did notice on that show was they only announced, 4 matches going into 2 chambers, Intercontinental title, and then the Divas match, or was there was 5, 4 or 5?
Well, that show, there was 4 matches going in.
Yeah,
and then show was a clusterfuck, man.
They added stuff, they changed stuff, everything was different by the time, they changed the Divas match to a tag match, they added a U.S. title match, they added a William Regal promo with Edge, and I think they realized when they started the show, like, oh crap, yeah, we got 3 hours to burn here. We've got 4 matches. What the hell are we gonna do?
Yeah, it was. That show's just all over the place, and we've had the WrestleMania card up. I put it up on our websites. Basically, the rumored card for WrestleMania. We had it up several weeks ago.
Yeah, we've been talking about it on the show for over a month now.
Yeah, we've tweaked it every now and then, but they did so much stuff on that show. And it was like they shook it up, right? They crowned 2 new champions, but as far as WrestleMania plans, nothing changed other than
like who's got the title, yeah.
Well, yeah, other than the fact, nothing changed. We had said that Chris Jericho was going to face Edge. We had said that John Cena was going to face Batista. We didn't know that Batista was going to be champion at the time. We thought Sheamus, and you had said weeks back you didn't see Sheamus going into WrestleMania with the title, with the WWE title. So they got it off him, and they're still going to do Triple H versus Sheamus. And the reason Sheamus and Triple H didn't appear on Raw last night is because Sheamus had a concussion on Sunday night. And then, that's going to be a top program, so there was no reason to have Triple H appear on that show with Sheamus not there. So I'm guessing that they'll start that angle next week. But nothing changed other than the fact that Triple H versus Sheamus at WrestleMania is no longer going to be a title match. You know what I mean? So it was just...
What do you think of the WrestleMania card, by the way?
I think it's all right.
I'm not like a big... I like it. I don't know why everybody seems to be like... Iffy. I think it's great. You got Bret and Vince. You got Batista Cena. I'm actually into that a little bit. You got Edge Jericho. I'm very into that.
Batista Cena is a rematch from Raw. It's like they gave it away. You know what I mean?
No, they didn't. He kicked him in the nuts and it was over. They didn't do a match.
I guess. I don't know. But it's just, the top matches. You'll have Bret Hart versus Vince McMahon. I'm guessing, that's got to be a gimmick match because they obviously...
Or a street fight. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's got to be a street fight or something along those lines. Or they could still put... I don't think they're going to do this. They could still put Vince in the corner of Batista and Bret in the corner of Cena and do that with the injury angle. But I think
no, because they got the WWE title on Batista, so that has to be a singles match now. Otherwise, there's no WWE title match.
You're right. So, they'll do a one-on-one between those two. And then we found out that Money in the Bank was going to air on the pay-per-view as well. And it's interesting to note that WWE.com they put up a pay-per-view schedule with all the new names.
Yeah, they took them all down, right?
Yeah, they took them down earlier today, actually. So I don't know if maybe that leaked out earlier or if that wasn't set in stone and they released it too early. So I don't know.
My big thing with WrestleMania, and also we got Undertaker, Shawn Michaels with HBK's career on the line, which we'll talk about more on Raw. So that's the card. But the one match I'm really looking forward to the most is Jericho and Edge, but they're both on SmackDown. So I really hate because I want to see the build-up. I'm sure you get a microphone in front of those two guys, it's going to be the greatest build-up, of all the matches, other than maybe Taker Shawn, because that's really got some momentum. But I'm going to miss it all because it's on SmackDown.
Well, and you've got, Chris Jericho's a great heel, obviously. His mic work is insane every week. But, Edge is a face.
I like Edge better as a heel.
Yeah, he is better as a heel. But, as a face, the guy's got it on the mic, you know what I mean? And the video packages, because I don't catch SmackDown on Friday nights either. Friday night's a tough night, you know what I mean?
Yeah, nobody wants to watch wrestling in prime time on Friday night.
Yeah, well, the ratings prove that. SmackDown draws like 2.2, 2.3 or something like that.
Also we have Randy Orton and Legacy, something with those guys. They started that, too, so that's another WrestleMania thing we got. And it looks like they're turning Orton face, too.
Orton's going to be a face, and I believe, I've put it up on the website. There was a plan a couple weeks ago to do the fathers of each man in their
I hate that idea.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's just be kept with those guys. You don't want to gimmick it up too much. It's been building forever. You don't need the fathers. If you needed them, I could see, but...
That storyline, I'll tell you what, as far as the storyline goes, that's some of the most intriguing stuff on Monday Night Raw, because you don't know what they're going to do,
Yeah, they keep changing it. They keep changing the plan.
Yeah, it's crazy. The WrestleMania, as far as Monday Night Raw last night, the last 3 or 4 weeks of Monday Night Raw have been amazing.
It's always good leading into WrestleMania, because that's when they really turn things up.
Right.
But I thought the Chamber was good, too, which we'll talk about this. I've been enjoying wrestling. TNA's been tearing it up every... Thursday night. I've been really enjoying that show.
TNA, even for the TNA haters, people say TNA sucks. There's no way that you can. TNA Impact has its moments, obviously, just like Monday Night Raw does, but as a whole, I mean, TNA's product on Thursday night, you've got to give that new, new management, I guess, Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff. I mean, Eric Bischoff, I heard last week that he's one of the hardest working guys in TNA, that he's constantly running back and forth, doing stuff all over the place.
As far as characters on TV, I would say Bischoff's one of the best characters they got, too. He's always been like a great, smug, asshole heel. He's perfect in that role.
Yeah, TNA has been amazing. If you guys are TNA haters, and I know there's a ton of TNA haters, but yeah. I mean, that show, what is it, KC Impact is greatly improved, no doubt, in the chat room. He said it best, man. I mean, that show's been off the hook for the last few weeks. So
you know the other story we got going on that I forgot? Undertaker damn near got blown up on Sunday night.
Jesus, was that crazy or what, my man?
I haven't seen a good video angle on it yet. The only one I saw was the one on TMZ, and you don't really see anything with that. Yeah. You see him start to run after the fireball goes off. I posted 2 videos on YouTube, but they did the copyright claim, or whatever the thing that they do. I don't know. Was there a good camera angle where you could actually see it? Because is there like a good angle out there that got taken down?
I don't know that there was. The 2 that I posted, they were both from the upper deck, but one was on the side, right along the entrance ramp. So I mean, that was the closest that it got. And everybody in the arena, I mean, you could hear. If you saw those videos, they were only up for about 2 hours or something like that before WWE pulled them. But if you saw those videos, I mean, people in the audience knew as soon as it happened. I mean, you could hear everybody scream and say, "Oh my God, he got burned!" So it was clearly obvious in the arena. And then they had the medical tech that was down there. He was also there. I think the Miz bled during the pay-per-view, and he came out. But the medical guy said that everything was all right. And then they continued to feed him bottles of water that he just doused himself throughout the match off camera. So they said it was, they compared it to, I think who was it, Robert Zimmerman, the WWE guy. He did an article for the Associated Press, and he said basically it was like a sunburn to the chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, you look at it, there's like 6 different guys in the chat room with Boone's name, right? We got Boone, Kitty Cat, Meow, Boone's Fork, Boone's Son, Boone's Spoon, Boone's Pork.
They love you, baby dolls. They love you.
Or is that Boone's Spork? Isn't a spork like the fork spoon things you get at plastic utensils or whatever?
Yeah, like KFC.
Called a spork. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spork.
We'll do shout-outs. Get to the live chat. We've had a ton of people listening. You know what? I think we gained a bunch of new viewers in the past few weeks because we did the lead-ins with, what was it, Bubba, and then Hogan on RVD.
Yeah, we had the State of TNA address, and then we had Hogan kissing RVD's ass last week. By the way, Sean C23, you ain't all that, but when the hell did I say I was all that? I was just laughing at all the names. You asshole.
WZROnline.com/chat. WZROnline.com/chat. Once again, guys, in hour number 2, we're taking live phone calls. We're going to do chat shout-outs. We didn't get to take phone calls last week, so we've got to do that this week. And we've got a new story on Kaz that we're going to break here later tonight, and a bunch of other stuff planned. So make sure you come back for hour number 2. Hour number 2 is always the better part of the show.
And we wake up a little bit more after that Rocky theme song plays. That's not going to be playing this week, huh?
No, you know what? We're going to talk about this when we run down Raw. We're going to do this kind of quick, but that video package last night with Shawn Michaels and
that was awesome.
That was amazing. That was one of the best video packages that I've seen in years. Possibly.
It really was put together. They've been doing some great ones with Bret Hart since he came back, but I think that Shawn Michaels one's one of the best video packages they've put together in a while. I thought it was really good.
Well, and the theme that went along with it, I mean, everything matched up perfect. Everything just flowed throughout that. And I got I put the theme up. I found it on YouTube last night, so I put it up. So I'm going to try to play that during the break. If you didn't hear it, somebody can put that YouTube link in the chat if you want to hear it. But I'm going to play that during the commercial break. Hopefully it comes through on my speakers. But
normally I play the music, so it'll be a different style this time.
All right, so let's get to Elimination Chamber and Monday Night Raw. We're going to do that in hour number 1, and then hour number 2, a lot of stuff planned.
Got to get the UFC in hour number 2 at some point, brother. That was a good-ass show.
We've got, what happened, I'll save it for later, but something happened between Mir and Lesnar where Mir's going to come out and apologize tomorrow.
He was in an interview yesterday. I think it was yesterday. We had it up yesterday, where he came out and pretty much said he literally, he was dead serious, he literally wants to see Brock Lesnar die in the UFC cage. He wants somebody to actually beat him up so bad that he dies from UFC-related injuries. was dead serious. He said he doesn't like when people, don't say what's really on their mind. Why say something if you don't really feel it? And he says, I really don't like that guy personally, and I'm dead serious. I would like to see him die in the octagon.
Huh. Yeah, he's going to, he was going to hold a press conference tomorrow or something to apologize or something like that. I don't know what the deal is. But we'll talk about that.
He's got a fight coming up, too, so, he should be worried about Shane Carwin, because that's a hard fight for him. But, yeah, we'll get into that in hour number 2.
All right, so Elimination Chamber from Sunday night. We got the poll up, guys, like Boone told you earlier. The media player that you're on, bottom left-hand corner, hit the poll button, and you can vote in the poll. We've got A, B, C, or D. Give the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view a school letter grade. We'll reveal the votes as soon as we're done running down the pay-per-view. So we kick things off. We had the first Elimination Chamber match. I put this on the website. They obviously weren't going to do back-to-back Elimination Chamber matches because they'd kill the crowd. You know what I mean? You have to have the fillers in there as well. So they opened up with the WWE title match. It was Sheamus, John Cena, Triple H, Randy Orton, Kofi Kingston, and Ted DiBiase. I believe we had we had a stare down during this match with Triple H and Sheamus, which you knew that was going to happen. You knew that was going to be the focal point, you know what I mean? And then it came down to the final two were Sheamus and John Cena, or who was it? Triple H and John Cena, right?
I believe so. I don't have anything in front of me this week, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was Triple H and John Cena that were the final two, and Triple H tapped out to the
that's right.
Yeah,
it was like a weird tap out too, like a slow tap out.
So he tapped out, and then we had a new WWE.
What did you think of that match? Did you think it was any good?
It was good. Both chamber matches were from top to bottom. I mean, this entire show, I gave it a B as far as my vote on the poll. But I mean, both chamber matches were well done. I thought the SmackDown Elimination Chamber match had more spots, you know what I mean? Rey Mysterio worked real hard in that match. Taker was burned. You got to remember that's the guy that was out there and was burned.
I didn't even realize that until after when the news came out. I couldn't tell during the show. I just thought he ran to the cage to emphasize that he really wants to start. I didn't realize he got burnt until after the show.
Well, because the announcers covered it up good. I mean, they said exactly what you just said, where he's not his normal self walking in the ring. He's running. He must be pissed off. He must be ready to get at Chris Jericho, you know what I mean, or anybody else in the match. So
one other note real quick before we switch to that chamber. In the first chamber, Cody Rhodes had come down during the match, and he threw a lead pipe in there, and he was trying to give it to Orton. Ted DiBiase got it, and he blasted Orton and eliminated him, so that was that from there. But
that's right.
I agree. I thought both chamber matches were awesome. I mean, I keep reading about how they're going to bring the War Games back, but it's already, that's the same thing, the War Games. You got the guys that have to wait to get in the cage, and and then it's an elimination once they're all in there. But I really like the concept.
War Games has
their teams.
Have weapons or something?
No weapons. It's just teams, and it's not single eliminations. Each team gets one member in every 5 minutes, and then once they're all in, the War Games begin, and you got to make one person give up, and your team wins.
Gotcha. After this match, we had new WWE champion because Triple H tapped out to the FTS. Vince McMahon came out and announced that basically payback for the previous week on Monday Night Raw, and Cena's defending of Bret Hart in recent weeks. So it's payback. Batista comes out. He's going to defend the title right now. So it's John Cena versus Batista for the WWE title. Batista comes out, and obviously they played it up. Cena had just been in a crazy match, and Batista came out, hit a spear, and hit the Batista bomb. And that was that. And we had a new WWE champion, Batista, and we'll follow that up. Last night they did on Monday Night Raw. So we'll run down Raw. We'll talk more about it.
Is he a Raw guy now, or what's the deal?
Well, you've got the draft coming up after WrestleMania. I mean, going into WrestleMania, you've always got guys from all three brands, or all two brands now, all over the place. You know what I mean? Raw guys.
I swear to God, if they move Christian to SmackDown, because they announced last night on Raw that Christian and Yoshitatsu had signed with Raw as free agents. So if they move him already in April, I'm going to be pissed, because I'm so looking forward to Christian promos and matches every week on Raw. I love that guy.
Everybody wants to see Edge versus Christian too, and with Edge over on SmackDown, unless you moved Edge to Raw, you know what I mean?
I would like that. That was one thing I noticed watching the SmackDown Elimination Chamber. CM Punk's new gimmick, I love that gimmick. It's awesome. You got him. Jericho's technically a SmackDown guy. You got Edge. There's a couple guys I'm forgetting. John Morrison's fun to watch. Rey Mysterio's fun to watch. Undertaker. I mean, they got some good talent over there. I didn't realize it because I don't watch that show, you know.
Yeah, but all the video packages that they air, I mean, I know video packages are well done because you can take segment by segment and mix stuff up, you know what I mean? But everything that comes from SmackDown, I mean, it looks excellent, you know what I mean? It seems like it could top Raw on a weekly basis. I mean, SmackDown, as of several months ago, I always heard that too, that SmackDown was the better show, but I never got a chance to catch it. You know,
they say it's better for the pure wrestling fan or something like, you know, the diehard wrestling fans enjoy that more. Raw's more about entertainment and celebrities and all that crap.
Right.
Which, good God, wait till we talk about that.
Yeah, Jesus, man.
Jerry Springer to Diva bull riding. My God, stop the fucking celebrity crap already.
Oh my God, the Diva bull riding last night, dude. I thought nothing could have topped the segment from the previous week with Jerry Springer.
It was
close. That bull riding, it was close, man. It was real close. Jesus, man. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit.
That was the first chamber. What did we go after that?
We had next up was the Intercontinental title match. It was Drew McIntyre.
Who's got the weirdest entrance I've ever seen. It's stupid.
It looks weird. Oh, that's right, dude.
Slow music and the whole video. Yeah, what is that?
I mean, we don't watch SmackDown once again, so I mean that came as a surprise. That's like, what in the hell was that?
Yeah, I know.
But they're giving McIntyre a pretty decent run with the IC title here, and they had him.
Vince is supposedly real high on him, right?
Real high.
Yeah.
And I put it up on the website a couple days ago. I think it was Sunday, right before the pay-per-view, that McIntyre is in for a pretty decent run with that title. So was able to retain there, defeated Kane, and that was that. We saw a backstage segment. Gail Kim was backstage with Maurice. God bless Gail Kim. She's a great worker, but she's one of the ones that on the mic, man, just something doesn't click.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They had that backstage segment where basically Gail told her,
she knew she'd been talking shit in French for the past few weeks, and now she's going to go whoop her ass, blah, 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 blah.
Exactly, and that led us into Maurice against Gail Kim. Before the bell rang, Vicky Guerrero came out, and...
Excuse me!
Oh, Jesus.
I used to hate her, and then you're always good at, like, seeing the talent before they break out. Like, I remember you telling me a long time ago, Edge is really... And I'm like, Edge sucks, and now I'm starting to see... You said it about Miz, and I'm starting to see it about Miz. Right. You used to tell me, yo, Vicky Guerrero's a good heel, man, when she does that excuse me stuff, and you were right, man. That shit is funny as hell now when she does it.
I've been there for a live SmackDown taping where she came out to the arena, and anybody that's been to a SmackDown show and she comes out and does that excuse me, I'll tell you what, man, she is, I mean, as far as heel heat is concerned, she is top dog in WWE. Nobody gets that kind of reaction.
Kind of like how Stephanie McMahon used to be with that screechy voice back in the day. She's got that down pat.
Right. Well, and guys, I mean, you got guys over on Raw like Chris Jericho and Sheamus come out to heel heat, but it's nothing. It doesn't even compare to the.
Well, there's like half the audience knows Chris Jericho's a heel, but they love him. He's got the cool heel. But Vicky Guerrero's just straight up heel. They hate her guts. She's good.
Right. Who said this in the chat? Mark. Gail Kim is the female version of Shelton Benjamin. He's absolutely right. As far
as... What does that mean? Just good in the ring, can't talk?
Yeah, exactly. In-ring work is outstanding. As far as mic skills, not so much. You know what I mean? As far as those two. So we had that led us. Vicky Guerrero comes out and she's pissed off because the Raw Divas been talking shit about the SmackDown Divas in recent weeks. How they're better. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
She sets up a match. It's now a tag team match. So this is the second time that this Divas title match has been postponed. They did it a few weeks ago on Raw. Did it again at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. So we had Maurice and Gail Kim against a team of Michelle McCool and Layla. We had Michelle McCool and Layla take this one. So the crowd was dead by this point, too, between the last match. They didn't take well to McIntyre versus Kane, which wasn't all that good anyways. But and then we followed it up with the Divas match. So, blah. Then we had a backstage segment, another impromptu match. We had MVP. He was backstage in front of the Miz and said that...
Yeah, Miz was talking about Daniel Bryan. What do they call him now? Daniel Bryan?
Right.
Yeah, his next wrestler, rookie.
Right. And so we had MVP, and basically they're going to have United States title match later tonight. And then
what didn't make sense about that was MVP said because him and Mark Henry defeated Big Show and Miz, he earned a right at the United States title, which makes no sense. Wouldn't they earn a right at the Unified Tag titles because they won?
The tag team titles, right? Why would they do a singles match? Yeah.
Whatever.
William Regal came out. More reason to kill time here, right? You only had 4 matches, 5 now with Miz versus MVP. But Regal comes out and basically says that he's going to be a mentor on NXT starting later tonight. That'll be interesting. Are you going to check that out tonight or not?
Yeah, I'm going to watch that. They've got me curious enough to at least see what they're doing. I don't even know what the hell it is.
Well, I've heard that they're going to do live matches. So unless they do something prior to ECW tonight, it's going to be live matches. I don't know. The gist that I got was that they were going to follow the guys around in their personal lives with the mentors. And
it's supposedly a reality show, right?
A reality show where they follow the guys around, but then they're going to do live matches. I don't know if those matches are going to be against
their superstar pros or whatever. Yeah, I don't know how they're doing it. The other thing is I've never seen Bryan Danielson work, so I'm kind of interested to see. I couldn't pick him out of a lineup of 2 people if you have, but yeah, I hear you. They're even building him up in the storyline as the internet legend and everything, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, it is kind of cool, but the thing is everything that Miz is saying is absolutely right. What he said on Monday Night Raw was basically the guy is a great in-ring worker. He's a legend on the indie scene. People love him, but he's got no charisma. He's got no mic skills. You know what I mean? And that's absolutely true. I saw him at Ring of Honor. I saw his farewell. The last match, it was him versus Nigel McGuinness.
Desmond Saw that live.
TNA, saw that live, and then they did the stuff after the match, and it was heartfelt and everything, but you can tell that the guy needs work on the mic. But as far as in-ring work, and they're not going to let him do all the stuff that he did in Ring of Honor. They let a guy, it'll be interesting, because they let a guy like Matt Striker,
Evan Bourne.
Matt Sydal, Evan Bourne, now in WWE, but they let him go out there and hit.
Oh, he was Matt Sydal?
He was Matt Sydal.
I didn't know that. I've heard that name a bunch. Yeah.
Yeah. So they let him come in from the indie scene and let him do his stuff. But Bryan Danielson is a great worker. It's just a matter of how much WWE let him do. Are they going to let him go out there and work his normal style, which would be surprising, or are they going to tone it down?
Well, I mean, if they're building him as the internet legend and this great worker, I would think they would let him be that on TV.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. It'll be interesting to see what they do on NXT or Next, whatever you want to call it, tonight, 10 o'clock on the Sci-Fi Network. So Regal was out here, and he basically cut a promo and says, Edge came out, and the gist of this was tomorrow night he's going to come and he's going to announce, who he's going to face at WrestleMania. And then Regal took a spear, and that was that. Just a time killer. You know what I mean? Just to
Definitely.
let him know that Edge is coming to Raw tomorrow night, and he's going to reveal who he's facing. So then we had our United States title match, The Miz with Big Show, and MVP with
Mark Henry.
Mark Henry, right. We had The Miz was able to take this one, so... And that surprised me because he's got both sets of titles, you know what I mean? So I figured they'd let somebody else, somebody like MVP, who's gotten a decent push as of late, nothing straight to the top like a Sheamus type push or anything like that. But you've got The Miz with both the Unified Tag Team titles and the U.S. title. So I figured they'd get one of the belts off him and push somebody else like MVP with it. But
I think they started to push him, and then they cooled off Kofi Kingston. What the hell happened to him, man? I mean, he was the big thing, for now he's nobody again.
Yeah, but you know what? They had him in the Elimination Chamber. So
okay, what's he doing at WrestleMania this year?
Well, he'll probably be in Money in the Bank.
Yeah, he'll be one of 8 guys running around on ladders. He's not a big deal anymore.
Not a main event storyline. You're right. I see what you're saying. I mean, Sheamus is basically the only one. The Miz, I mean, they're all getting pushes. You've got The Miz, Kofi Kingston, and MVP all getting pushes, but it's not main event type pushes. You know what I mean? And maybe it's not time. You know what I mean?
I think the fans agreed it was time for Kofi. Kofi's got it in the ring. I don't know about his personality enough because I haven't seen him do too many promo work, but I mean, the crowd was taking to him huge.
But how many guys can you really push to the top and put them in main event storylines? I mean, Sheamus worked out as of right now, but other guys, you know.
He didn't really work out, bro. I mean, he worked out because they keep doing it, so in that sense, he worked out because they haven't given up on him yet. But the fans,
he gets heel heat, you know what I mean? He gets crazy heel heat, and that's good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, people hate it. They're just the way that they're building him up is just a destructive. You know what I mean?
To me, it just seems like if you're friends with Triple H, you continue your push. You don't get a chance and they take it away from you. You get the chance and they keep it going, make it work.
You're absolutely right. We had a main event time before we get to Monday Night Raw. We got about 20 minutes to run down Raw. We've got a live chat going right now, guys. WZROnline.com/chat. Once again, WZROnline.com/chat. We'll be taking your live phone calls in hour number 2, and we're going to do chat shout-outs. Boy, there's a lot of people in that chat room tonight. Every week, my man. Every week. Every Tuesday.
Yeah, we hit like a new level or something recently. I don't know when it happened, but I think it might have been the January 4th thing we did, but yeah.
Yeah, it's only going to get busier, man, with
WrestleMania. God.
Think about that, bro. We've got Jesus, man. I'll tell you what. Yeah, I mean, what is it? Is it really 5?
34 days, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, Elimination Chamber, the amount of traffic that we had for that pay-per-view, and then yesterday was amazing as well. Today's not bad, but geez, I mean, my website's crashed after the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, and I'm thinking to myself, man, we've got TNA moving to Monday nights, right, head-to-head with Monday Night Raw, and then we've got WrestleMania at basically the same time.
When is WrestleMania? March
28th.
Oh, so damn, TNA will be live before WrestleMania.
It'll be
on Mondays. March 8th or March 8th. When is it?
March 8th is TNA Impact going to Mondays in April.
So we'll have that before WrestleMania. My God.
Yeah, so I mean Mondays are going to be Monday and Tuesday are already crazy busy, you know what I mean? And when you take TNA Impact and go head to head with them, oh my God, dude! Remember January 4th? Remember how
that was insane, man? Yeah, Monday.
Oh
that's going to be a mistake going to Monday like 2 weeks before WrestleMania. I mean they're not going to win. That's a bad idea.
I think it's a mistake that they're going 9 to 11. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They should have went 8 to 10 or 10 to 12, anything but straight up.
Anything but head to head, you know what I mean? Do that. I guess if you're gonna go at them. You know what I mean? If you're gonna fight them. But just, I mean, that you would have that 1 hour advantage. You know what I mean? And then do something huge at 9 o'clock every week, so that nobody's gonna tune out and leave Raw at that 9 o'clock hour. You do something big. You know what I mean? And I think the live shows are gonna be, as far as traffic is concerned, because it's going to be live every week, and then they're going to tape the following night on Tuesday for the following week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it'll be alternate, live 1 week, tape the next week.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just going to be crazy, man.
Anyway, Joe, we're running out of time, man. Chamber main event.
Chamber main event, we had The Undertaker, Chris Jericho, Rey Mysterio, CM Punk, John Morrison, and R-Truth. It's funny because they had, like, in the SmackDown Elimination Chamber, you had, like, R-Truth. In the Raw Elimination Chamber, you had Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, the one black guy.
You know, two guys that, well, I wasn't talking about the black guy. I was talking about two guys that you know have absolutely no shot of winning, but they're in there anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, an R-Truth rapping thing made me want to puke. That whole entrance he did was just awful.
Right. Yeah. We had the stuff, the pyro incident with The Undertaker when he came out. You guys saw the video on TMZ.com. We've been covering it. He came out, and basically what happened is after the match was over, he was pretty pissed off, went backstage, and I guess was screaming at numerous people, and on his way up the ramp turned and said something to the pyro guy, like made a threatening gesture. That was from our live report, and then I got word from somebody in WWE that I guess when he got backstage, man, he just lost it, man. They basically tried to calm him down and say, man, it was an accident, you know?
Yeah.
It was. I mean, come on. They've done that so many times. It's not like the pyro guy was out there trying to burn me, you know what I mean?
It was bound to happen. I mean, he's going to walk in the middle of two giant flames as they shoot up in the sky. He's right in the middle of it. I mean, come on.
Yeah. The match itself came down to Jericho and Taker, and Shawn Michaels came in at the end and super kicked Taker, basically cost him, screwed him out of the world title, and Chris Jericho was able to get the pin, and that's how the show ended, with Taker in the ring looking pissed off with Shawn Michaels on the ramp, and basically the storyline is, as we saw on Monday Night Raw.
Well, no, the show ended with HBK standing over Taker, still laid out. He just stood there. Like, even when Jericho pinned him, he stood right over top of him, staring at him, and yeah, the show went off the air with a close-up of Michaels making that same poo-poo face he's been making for the last month or so.
Right. So that led us
Poo-poo
into poo-poo face.
I couldn't think of nothing.
That leads us into Monday Night Raw, because a lot of that stuff carried us over to last
real quick, man, the poll. We said Elimination Chamber, what grade would you give the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view? Let me stop the poll so they don't keep coming in. First place was B with 50% of the votes, or 44 votes. Second place, tied for second place was C and A. They each got 18 votes, or 21%. And D had 9%, or 8 votes. So most people enjoyed the show.
No doubt. I gave it a B. You said you
that's what I gave it.
Well.
Yeah.
All right, no doubt. Guys, get to the live chat room. It's WZROnline.com/chat. Once again, WZROnline.com/chat. One thing I forgot to mention at the top of the show, I got a guy that's working on WZROnline.com a brand new design, and the reason I caught bits and pieces of Monday Night Raw last night, but I was working with him on this new design. It looks pretty good. It's pretty standard, but we're bringing back the shout box and all the good features. So we'll have an archive section, and we'll get all that stuff back up for you here probably within the next few weeks. But it's definitely coming. I finally found somebody that could hook us up. So a new design is coming soon for WZROnline.com, and my apologies. Yeah, my apologies for that shitty design that we have up. I mean, JMK is...
Have you got hold of him yet?
It's a fucked up thing to do, my man. It's a fucked up thing to do.
You still ain't talked to him?
Still ain't talked to him, man.
Oh, my God. What an asshole.
Well, I gave up calling. It's just, it's like, what the fuck? You know,
we're all happy and excited that they work with you in the beginning, because I've had a million people on MMA News where I just take them from the forums. I can tell they're diehard, they're into the sport, and I say, hey, you want to make a little money and work for me directly? And they're so gracious, like, oh, I can't believe I get to interview Tito Ortiz and talk to him on the phone and chuckle with them. And then a few months later, they got this sense of entitlement where it's like, you better give me $1 million, and I'm only going to do 2 interviews a year, and like, fuck you, man. Where's the little excited guy that, started working with me?
Yeah, they used to be. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of, I don't know what happened. The last time I talked to him, he said, I got a backup, and there was a problem with the MySQL or whatever the hell
database,
some server talk, right? And he said, I got a buddy, and he's going to help me work on it, and we'll get it back up. And I said, all right, man. I said, no doubt. I said, we'll get it back up as soon as we can. And I tried calling several days later after the weekend.
Scumbag, man.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man. I have no idea.
But you said you got a new one coming soon?
Brand new one, man. It's brand new one.
There you
go. Soon. WZROnline.com. So stay tuned for that. The official home of WZR Radio, WZROnline.com. Guys, once again, in hour number 2, we got about 15 minutes. Boom, you're going to have to carry Monday Night Raw here, but we got about 15 minutes. We're going to take a commercial break. We're going to come back in hour number 2. We're going to take a lot of your live phone calls. We're going to talk UFC 110 from this past Saturday night. We've got another major exclusive on Kaz, another mistress has come forward. She sent some photos, non-nude ones this time, so you guys are safe. But we're going to post all that stuff for you in hour number 2, or talk about it in hour number 2. Ric Flair, a lot of backstage news, rumors, stuff like that. So hour number 2, we're just going to kind of shoot the shit. All right, Monday Night Raw.
I don't have any show file in front of me, so you can bring stuff up and I'll tell you what happened, because I did watch it pretty closely.
All right, do you want my Raw report, or no? You probably can't click that.
I can't do nothing when I'm on the show.
All right, we kicked things off. We had Chris Jericho made his way out to the ring and said he was gonna go to WrestleMania, and that's about.
Yeah, he said he was just bragging about how he got the title, and he said about 8 times, I'm going to WrestleMania, I'm the new champ, and then Edge came out. And I guess he just speared Jericho, and he said, yeah, you're going to WrestleMania against me. And so that was the announcement.
Yeah. Then we had, then it seemed like they were going to go to a commercial break or something, and then John Cena's music hit.
They went to the back, and then, boom, Cena's music hit, and it's time for the second WrestleMania main event. And Cena came out and demanded, what was it, he wanted to see Batista or something like that?
Something about Vince McMahon. Something about Vince cost him the title at the Elimination Chamber page.
Yeah, how he got screwed.
Rematch,
he said Bret Hart's not the only guy to get screwed by Vince. You can add me to that list now because he got screwed last night. And shit, I'm drawing a blank here. I think Vince came out, right?
No, Vince comes out and basically says that he basically paid off Batista, where basically said Batista scratches my back, I scratch Batista's back.
He said that as part of him helping beat up Brett, he could get a title shot whenever he wanted, and it's just business. He chose last night. It's not personal.
And then they announced, Vince announced the main event, so it's going to be tonight it's going to be John Cena versus Batista, and if Cena wins, he gets the title shot. If he loses, Sheamus will get the title shot. So
it's a shame he gets the title shot by default, because the whole thing was Cena demanded, he said, not only Batista won the title last night, I did too, so I get a return match whenever I want. I want it tonight. And Vince said Sheamus also lost the title last night, so he gets it too. But, yeah, so that was the main event set up there.
And then we finally had our Divas Championship match, man, that had been postponed for weeks now. They were supposed to do it, like I said earlier, on Raw a few weeks ago. They were supposed to do it at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Things got all clusterfucked, and we had it on Monday Night Raw last night. I just know that the crowd was dead for this. I kept glancing over, and it was silent. And
I mean, it was supposed to be the finals of a tournament. People probably forgot about the tournament after that much time. But in the end, Maurice hit the French kiss, DDT, got the pin, and she's the new Divas champ.
We had there was a backstage segment. It was Ty Murray, who, Jesus, man, I mean, was that the hick of all hicks?
Oh, my God, that accent, bro. I wanted to scratch my eyeballs out.
Yeah, but he wasn't that big, you know what I mean? He didn't seem nervous out there. He kind of flowed. During the bull riding stuff, he kind of flowed, but you could tell that he's got that country, cocky attitude. You know,
yeah, it was almost like he was better than everybody because this is just silly wrestling. It's like, hey, asshole, you sit on a bull for a living. Get the fuck, you ain't shit.
Yeah, right. Jillian Hall showed up here. And by the way, I remember Jewel from years ago, man. So I'm thinking, I mean, she's got to be up there in age, right? But I'm thinking, God damn, man, she was looking
She was
good.
real young when she came out. I would say she's probably still in her 30s, maybe, mid to late 30s by now.
All right, yeah, that must have been it then, because I remember Jewel. Didn't she sing... What was it?
Dreams last for so long, even after you're gone. And I know. No.
Yeah, baby. No, I remember her from back in the day, though, and she was hot back then, and she's still looking good, man. They did a segment where Jillian Hall came in. That's for those that don't know, Jillian Hall is obviously a takeoff of Brooke Hogan. Everything she does, the way she talks,
she even kind of looks like her a little bit.
Yes, it's a complete takeoff.
I never noticed that before. Is that what it is?
It's a complete rip on Hulk Hogan, basically. It's just a fuck you to Hulk Hogan.
She wants to sing for a living. Yeah, right.
She wants to sing, and she does the thing. She's always got the microphone. It's a complete rip.
Jewel ended up bitch slapping Jillian Hall after, and she hit her hard, bro. I mean, she slapped the shit out of her.
Oh, they did. They made some Twitter posts earlier today
where
basically Jillian said you don't hold back or something like that. So that we had a backstage segment. It was Cody Rhodes trying to talk to Randy Orton, and basically says it's all good. And tonight we're gonna have a match. It's who was it? It was Randy Orton versus Ted DiBiase. They announced later in the show. And
no. It was gonna be a 6-man tag.
Oh, the 6-man tag. That's right.
Yeah. They said the Legacy got away from the original goal, and they got to prove tonight that they're, still together. And then when Orton left, DiBiase asked him how that went, a little chat, and Rhodes and DiBiase said, "Are we still doing what we talked about?" Like they had a plan for the match. I guess they were going to sue Orton.
Yeah, the cryptic thing at the end.
Yeah.
It's intriguing, you know what I mean? They've got a storyline where it keeps you guessing, it keeps you thinking, and that's good, you know what I mean? I mean, we all knew that Chris Jericho was going to face Edge. We knew that Cena was going to face Batista. We knew that Brett's going to face Vince.
Yeah, I still don't know what they're doing here, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this storyline is very intriguing, the things that they're doing up on the Raw.
Do we have any rumors? Are they doing like a triple threat match? Or they're doing a triple with the dads, you said. That's
with
right.
Fathers in their corners.
Okay.
Right. That's what I've heard, but I mean, we don't have that confirmed. I just put it as a rumored match for last
Well, Ted DiBiase's father will be there because he's going to the Hall of Fame. I don't know about the other two.
Well, Dusty Rhodes, Ted DiBiase, when he hosted, remember when he hosted Raw?
I missed that one.
Yeah, a few months ago. I mean, that guy, he was on
8 to 10 or 10 to 12, anything but straight up.
Anything but head-to-head, you know what I mean? Do that.
I
guess if you're going to go at him, you know what I mean? If you're going to fight him, but just, I mean, that you would have that 1 hour advantage, you know what I mean? And then do something huge at 9 o'clock every week so that nobody's going to tune out and leave Raw. At that 9 o'clock hour, you do something big, you know what I mean? And I think the live shows are going to be, as far as traffic is concerned, because it's going to be live every week, and then they're going to tape the following night on Tuesday for the following week, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so it'll be alternate, live 1 week, tape the next week.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just going to be crazy, man.
Anyway, Joe, we're running out of time, man. Chamber main event.
Chamber main event, we had The Undertaker, Chris Jericho, Rey Mysterio, CM Punk, John Morrison, and R-Truth.
Oh,
it's funny because they had, like, in the SmackDown Elimination Chamber, you had, like, R-Truth. In the Raw Elimination Chamber, you had Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, the one black guy.
You know, two guys that, well, I wasn't talking about the black guy. I was talking about two guys that you know have absolutely no shot of winning, but they're in there anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, an R-Truth rapping thing made me want to puke. That whole entrance he did was just awful.
Right. Yeah. We had we had the stuff, the pyro incident with The Undertaker when he came out. You guys saw the video on TMZ.com. We've been covering it. He came out, and basically what happened is after the match was over, he was pretty pissed off, went backstage, and I guess was screaming at numerous people, and on his way up the ramp turned and said something to the pyro guy, like made a threatening gesture. That was from our live report, and then I got word from somebody in WWE that I guess when he got backstage, man, he just lost it, man. They basically tried to calm him down and say, man, it was an accident, you know?
Yeah.
It never was. I mean, come on. They've done that so many times. It's not like the pyro guy was out there trying to burn you know what I mean?
It was bound to happen. I mean, he's going to walk in the middle of two giant flames that just shoot up in the sky. He's right in the middle of it. I mean, come on.
Yeah. The match itself came down to Jericho and Taker, and Shawn Michaels came in at the end and super kicked Taker, basically cost him, screwed him out of the world title, and Chris Jericho was able to get the pin, and that's how the show ended with Taker in the ring looking pissed off with Shawn Michaels on the ramp, and basically the storyline is, as we saw Monday Night Raw.
Well, no, the show ended with HBK standing over Taker still laid out. He just stood there. Like, even when Jericho pinned him, he stood right over top of him staring at him, and yeah, the show went off the air with a close-up of Michaels making that same poo-poo face he's been making for the last month or so.
Right. So that led us
into
poo-poo face.
I couldn't think of nothing.
That leads us into Monday Night Raw because a lot of that stuff carried us over to last
real quick,
night.
man, the poll. We said Elimination Chamber. What grade would you give the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view? Let me stop the poll so they don't keep coming in. First place was B with 50% of the votes, or 44 votes. Second place, tied for second place was C and A. They each got 18 votes, or 21%, and D had 9%, or 8 votes. So most people enjoyed the show.
No doubt. I gave it a B. You said you
that's what I gave it.
Well.
Yeah.
All right, no doubt. Guys, get to the live chat room. It's WZROnline.com/chat. Once again, WZROnline.com/chat. One thing I forgot to mention at the top of the show, I got a guy that's working on WZROnline.com a brand new design, and the reason I caught bits and pieces of Monday Night Raw last night, but I was working with him on this new design. It looks pretty good. It's pretty standard, but we're bringing back the shout box and all the good features. So we'll have an archive section, and we'll get all that stuff back up for you here probably within the next few weeks. But it's definitely coming. I finally found somebody that could hook us up. So a new design is coming soon for WZROnline.com, and my apologies. Yeah, my apologies for that shitty design that we have up. I mean, JMK is...
Have you got hold of him yet?
It's a fucked up thing to do, my man. It's a fucked up thing to do.
You still ain't talked to him?
Still ain't talked to him, man.
Oh, my God. What an asshole.
Well, I gave up calling. It's just, it's like, what the fuck? You know,
they're all happy and excited that they work with you in the beginning, because I've had a million people on MMA News where I just take them from the forums. I can tell they're diehard, they're into the sport, and I say, hey, you want to make a little money and work for me directly? And they're so gracious, like, oh, I can't believe I get to interview Tito Ortiz and talk to him on the phone and chuckle with them. And then a few months later, they got this sense of entitlement where it's like, you better give me $1 million, and I'm only going to do 2 interviews a year, and like, fuck you, man. Where's the little excited guy that, you know, started working with me?
Yeah, they used to be, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of, I don't know what happened. The last time I talked to him, he said, I got a backup, and there was a problem with the MySQL or whatever the hell
database,
some server talk, right? And he said, I got a buddy, and he's going to help me work on it, and we'll get it back up. And I said, all right, man. I said, no doubt. I said, we'll get it back up as soon as we can. And I tried calling several days later after the weekend.
Scumbag, man.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man. I have no idea.
But you said you got a new one coming soon?
Brand new one, man. It's brand new one.
There you
go. Soon. WZROnline.com. So stay tuned for that. The official home of WZR Radio, WZROnline.com. Guys, once again, in hour number 2, we got about 15 minutes. Boom, you're going to have to carry Monday Night Raw here, but we got about 15 minutes. We're going to take a commercial break. We're going to come back in hour number 2. We're going to take a lot of your live phone calls. We're going to talk UFC 110 from this past Saturday night. We've got another major exclusive on Kaz, another mistress has come forward. She sent some photos, non-nude ones this time, so you guys are safe. But we're going to post all that stuff for you in hour number 2, or talk about it in hour number 2. Ric Flair, a lot of backstage news, rumors, stuff like that. So hour number 2, we're just going to kind of shoot the shit. All right, Monday Night Raw.
I don't have any show file in front of me, so you could bring stuff up and I'll tell you what happened, because I did watch it pretty closely.
All right, do you want my Raw report, or no? You probably can't click that.
I can't do nothing when I'm on the show.
All right, we kicked things off. We had Chris Jericho made his way out to the ring and said he was gonna go to WrestleMania, and that's about.
Yeah, he said he was just bragging about how he got the title, and he said about 8 times, "I'm going to WrestleMania. I'm the new champ." And then Edge came out. And I guess he just speared Jericho, and he said, "Yeah, you're going to WrestleMania against me." And so that was the announcement.
Yeah. Then we had, then it seemed like they were going to go to a commercial break or something, and then John Cena's music hit.
They went to the back, and then boom, Cena's music hit, and it's time for the second WrestleMania main event. And Cena came out and demanded, what was it? He wanted to see Batista or something like that.
Something about Vince McMahon. Something about Vince cost him the title at the Elimination Chamber pay.
Yeah, how he got screwed.
Rematch,
he said Bret Hart's not the only guy to get screwed by Vince. You can add me to that list now because he got screwed last night. And shit, I'm drawing a blank here. I think Vince came out, right?
No, Vince comes out and basically says that he basically paid off Batista, where basically said, Batista scratches my back, I scratch Batista's back.
He said that as part of him helping him beat up Brett, he could get a title shot whenever he wanted, and it's just business. He chose last night. It's not personal.
And then they announced, Vince announced the main event, so it's going to be, tonight it's going to be John Cena versus Batista, and if Cena wins, he gets the title shot. If he loses, Sheamus will get the title shot. So
it's a shame he gets the title shot by default, because the whole thing was Cena demanded... He said, not only Batista won the title last night, I did too, so I get a return match whenever I want. I want it tonight. And Vince said Sheamus also lost the title last night, so he gets it too. But, yeah, so that was the main event set up there.
And then we finally had our Divas Championship match, man, that had been postponed for weeks now. They were supposed to do it, like I said earlier, on Raw a few weeks ago. They were supposed to do it at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Things got all clusterfucked, and we had it on Monday Night Raw last night. I just know that the crowd was dead for this. I kept glancing over, and it was silent.
I mean, it was supposed to be the finals of a tournament. People probably forgot about the tournament after that much time. But in the end, Maurice hit the French Kiss, DDT, got the pin, and she's the new Divas champ.
We had there was a backstage segment. It was Ty Murray, who, Jesus, man, I mean, was that the hick of all hicks?
Oh, my God, that accent, bro. I wanted to scratch my eyeballs out.
Yeah, but he wasn't that big, you know what I mean? He didn't seem nervous out there. He kind of flowed. During the bull riding stuff, he kind of flowed, but you could tell that he's got that country, cocky attitude. You know
it was almost like he was better than everybody because this is just silly wrestling. It's like, hey, asshole, you sit on a bull for a living. Get the fuck, you ain't shit.
Yeah, right. Jillian Hall showed up here. And by the way, I remember Jewel from years ago, man. So I'm thinking, I mean, she's got to be up there in age, right? But I'm thinking, God damn, man, she was looking good.
real young when she came out. I would say she's probably still in her 30s, maybe, mid to late 30s by now.
All right, yeah, that must have been it then, because I remember Jewel. Didn't she sing... What was it?
Dreams last for so long, even after you're gone. And I know. No.
Yeah, baby. Sorry about that, guys. I tried.
Didn't work out so good?
No, it didn't work out. They said it stuck in the chat room, so we'll come back.
That's why I'm the producer.
Our music sucks, man. Whenever we try to play music, and all that
we got to patch it through like third hand, through the phone, through Skype, through the live stream. It's just too much.
Yeah, it's got to go through a whole shitload of stuff. So I guess we won't take a break, but we failed, no doubt. People in the chat. Fates to not. I failed. Whatever. We suck. But so we won't take a break tonight, and we'll come right back. We're here.
I got to take a piss. I'm fine.
We had I tried to get you to switch it over once they told me it sucked.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I was in the bathroom.
Yeah, we didn't get that. So whatever. We're back. No break for hour number 2. We got a lot to talk about here. We're going to kick it off with UFC 110 from this past Saturday night, and then I'm going to get some news and rumors. We're going to do chat shout-outs, like I said before we went to that quick break, and live chat room, WZROnline.com/chat. So we got a lot planned. UFC.
Great UFC, yeah. Amazing UFC. This past Saturday night from Sydney, Australia. UFC 110, Nogueira versus Velasquez. No prelims this time because they were in Australia. It was actually like Sunday morning when they did the show over there so that they could air live. Because usually when they go overseas to England or something like that with a big time difference, they air the pay-per-view live in America at like 3 or 4 p.m. and then they replay it at the normal time of 10. This time there was no such replay. It was live at 10 as it always is. And no prelims. So we opened up. First fight on the card was Mirko Krokop versus Anthony Perosh. And Mirko Krokop got the win via TKO from doctor stoppage in between after the second round. I believe that, after the second round. So what happened was Mirko opened up a huge cut on Perosh, and they just stopped the fight in between rounds because of that cut. But Mirko Krokop got the win, back to the winning ways. Didn't look overly impressive to me, nowhere near his killer days in Pride. But he did get the win nonetheless, and he was supposed to fight Ben Rothwell, actually. That was a late replacement, so they're trying to set up Krokop versus Ben Rothwell for his next fight. We'll see what goes on there.
A couple comments on this from me. I mean, Krokop threw the high kick that he's known for several times. Didn't really land, but I mean, he threw it, so it was good.
He threw it. I saw once. He threw a lot of body kicks, and he tried to throw one because the Perosh guy was actually pretty tall, so it was kind of hard to get his leg up there. But he was able to do it once. Just Perosh blocked it. So.
Right, and then there was I mean, when he opened up that cut, the ref jumped in and took a look at it, and you knew. I mean, they showed it was a real brief. It was a real brief shot that they showed during the match, and then when he went to the corner, I mean, it was just nasty. That was one where, I mean, it was like the size of my finger, just a chunk of skin taken out of his forehead.
It was gross. What happened? Well, they stopped it to look at it during the fight, and everybody thought he wasn't going to continue, and he was able to continue, which showed a lot of guts, but he was just in survival mode at that point.
Yeah, he was done. He was absolutely done. So
next fight was Ryan Bader, who just won the Ultimate Fighter. I believe it was not this last season, but the season before that. He fought the Dean of Mean, Keith Jardine, and Bader got the victory here in impressive fashion. He stays undefeated. He actually knocked out Keith Jardine with a punch in the third round, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Before that, it was back and forth fight. Bader was hitting the takedowns. Jardine was doing his awkward ass striking, and in the end, Bader caught one of them huge-ass overhand rights that he had been throwing the whole fight, and it landed and blasted Jardine, and he followed up with some punches. A very impressive win for Mr. Bader. They call him Darth Bader.
Darth Bader.
Dumbest nickname in MMA.
Jardine, I'll tell you what, Jardine got rocked, and he got up afterwards pissed off, and he's always been known to do that. Where he was out. And then he was done, man, and they had to calm him down. He was all pissed off after the fight, but that was a vicious knockout.
Right, because he feels stupid because he twists his nipples before the fight starts, him and all the Greg Jackson guys. Have you ever noticed that?
No.
Yeah, that's the signature. Rashad Evans does it, GSP does it, Keith Jardine, all the guys that train, Nate Marquardt, all those guys at that camp to do that nipple twisting thing right before the But anyways, Bader got the win there by knockout, so he stays undefeated. An impressive victory. He stepped up in competition and got the knockout, so good deal for him, new light heavyweight contender. From there, we went to what won the fight of the night, and it was an amazing fight. We had George Sotiropoulos fight Joe Daddy Stevenson, and Sotiropoulos was the hometown guy from Australia, and he actually got the upset victory, won 3 rounds to nothing on all scorecards. Pretty much dominated Joe Stevenson, man. Very impressive.
This was one of the best ground fights that I've seen in a long time. And they said that Stevenson was the better wrestler of the two. I don't know if you agree with that. But,
better wrestler for sure. Submission-wise, they're pretty equal, I would think.
But did you see, the submission attempts and the wrestling on the ground? I mean, that stuff was amazing to watch. I had Tom here, call him Game Face. I think you know who that is. But
Yankees head dude?
Yeah.
Thinks he's Mr. Fight and he doesn't know shit.
Oh yeah, that's why we call him Game Face, dude. Because he's all about the NFL. He's all about sports. You know what I mean? So like, what up, Game Face?
Yeah.
But no, I mean I had him here, and they shit all over ground fights all the time. They don't want to see nothing on the ground, no wrestling.
Did they shit on that one?
No, dude.
He
was impressed with that, and I said, man, this is one of the best ground fights that we've seen.
Crowd was insane for that fight
too. I know. It was crazy. The amount of submission attempts, and at times you thought that one of them was out.
Over.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, just a great fight, man.
Yeah, Soteropoulos was very impressive in that one because, I mean, everybody going in just assumed Stevenson was going to kill him, and Soteropoulos dominated him for all 3 rounds, won a unanimous decision, 30-27 across the board. Very impressive for Mr. Soteropoulos. From there, we had our 2 main events. I believe they threw a prelim in here. Let me look at the prelims. What did they throw in? Chris Lytle versus Brian Foster, where Lytle had the knee bar and popped his fucking knee out of
Oh, yeah, that was nasty looking, man.
Jesus.
Yeah.
But from there we went to Vanderlei Silva versus Michael Bisping, and the crowd was very pro-Silva, very anti-Bisping. Bisping came off as a dick in the build-up for this fight, as he always does, so it was good to see that. The fight was very close until the end. Bisping was, I think I gave Bisping the first round. I gave Silva the second round because of the choke. Remember at the second round, as it was ending, Silva had Bisping in a choke where it was pretty much over, but there wasn't enough time left, so they had to break the hold because the round ended, but it looked like that was going to be the end of the fight there, but Bisping was able to hang on until the bell sounded. Going into the third round, it was pretty much even on everybody's cards, so it was going to be a very telling round if these fucking calls don't stop. Jesus Christ. Keeps covering up the stats and numbers I got to read. But, Vanderlei Silva ended up getting the win by unanimous decision, and the way it happened was it looked like he was going to lose that third round. It was going to go 2-1 to Bisping, but with 10 seconds to go, fucking phone calls, with 10 seconds to go, Silva knocks Bisping flat out, goes into follow-up. It looked like the ref was stopping it, but then he backed up, let him continue. And by this point, I was already running around the house like an insane lunatic. I was so happy. So I didn't know what had just happened. And they were like, I don't know if he just knocked him out and they stopped it or if the round ended. And it turned out the round had ended, and it was enough to give Vanderlei Silva the nod. He won a unanimous decision. So Vanderlei wins his UFC debut at 185. That was his first fight at middleweight right there.
Now, here's 2 comments here. I fucking hate Bisping. Ever since the reality show, I mean, he came across as that cocky prick asshole. You know what I mean? Can't stand him. So every time he gets beat, and this is a couple losses for him, man. I don't know if he won the last fight.
He won the last fight against Dennis Kang, but everybody said it was impressive, but he actually looked pretty bad in that fight.
All right. Well, I love to see that guy lose. Just ever since the reality show. And the second thing is I had that fight. You could have gave Bisping maybe 1 round out of the 3. I had the other 2, the first round. I had the other 2 for Silva, and I heard at the post presser that Bisping said he wasn't making excuses, but he was kind of pissed off.
He thought he won. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only was he bitching about the decision, but he was talking a lot of shit about Vanderlei. And Vanderlei was sitting right there. He doesn't speak English, didn't know what he's saying. I mean, he was talking a lot of shit.
Really? See, I didn't see the post-fight presser, so I don't know what he said. I just know that he felt that he won the fight, and I completely disagree. I mean, when you watch that, come on, dude, it was Vanderlei.
He clearly lost the second because of the choke, and he clearly lost the third because he was pretty much knocked out as the round ended. So he lost the second 2 rounds.
I mean, it was over. I mean, if there was 5 more seconds left on that clock, that fight was over. You know, the ref would have stopped it. Somebody would have jumped in. I mean, he was done at the end of the round. So
Vanderlei definitely won that. You didn't want a unanimous decision. It wasn't like it was a disputed contest or anything like that. From there, they showed the Bonner fight after. They showed the main event here: Cain Velasquez versus Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira. A lot of people thought Nogueira was going to take this, and it did not go that way at all, my brother. Nogueira is one of my favorite fighters of all time. I was so excited that he was going to win this fight, and he's going to fight Brock Lesnar, and I think he's the guy that can beat Brock. I don't think that anymore, man.
Well, all right. So we're gonna have Mir and Carwin. The winner of that goes on, unless one of those guys gets injured.
Yes.
The winner of that goes on to face Lesnar. I'll tell you what, Cain Velasquez, my man, and I told you this on IM, and I know we feel the same way about this, but Cain Velasquez deserves that shot. Or if you're not going to do that, postpone Lesnar for a little bit longer and do a match between Cain Velasquez and the winner of Mir versus Carwin. Have the winner of that go on to face Lesnar.
Well, then that eliminates the other guy if Lesnar wins. And there's no second contender to go straight to.
That's true. You're right.
But
you're right.
The only way that Carwin Mir should be the title eliminator is if Mir wins. I don't think Carwin deserves that title shot. Mir, the only reason he really deserves it is because they've both fought twice and each of them won 1. And rubber match, plus the fact that it would be the biggest money fight UFC could do. That would be, UFC 100 is their all-time record still. And a third fight between those two guys with the build-up from all these years with their beef. If this fucking guy doesn't stop calling, oh my God! But,
for the people that are calling the live radio show, just wait a few minutes until.
This is one of the fucking assholes that calls with the block number. Just does
right.
The whole show he does.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. But anyways, I agree with you. Cain Velasquez, I mean, especially with that win over Nogueira, he should be the guy getting the title shot, and he's not. But if Mir wins, I understand. But if Carwin wins and they give it to him over Velasquez, that just doesn't make sense to me for some reason. Yeah, but anyways, in this fight with Nogueira, Cain Velasquez completely dominant. I don't think Nogueira landed any. The only punch he landed was when they both hit each other at the end, and Nogueira got knocked out instead. You know what I mean? So Cain Velasquez came out. He was leg kicking the shit out of him. He was kicking hard. He was blasting him with punches, and he just knocked him out and finished him up on the ground. Scary looking knockout.
Well, they went to hit each other.
Took them 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So that was it.
They went to hit each other at the same time,
yeah.
And Velasquez got the shot that landed, and then the punches on the ground after that were vicious.
Brutal. Yeah. And that was pretty much the only punch Nogueira landed was when they both threw at the same time. I mean, he didn't do anything. It was a one-sided dominant performance by Velasquez. He's a star now, man.
I mean, you run down that card, man, and from top to bottom, that UFC show, if you guys saw it, I mean, that was one that, if you want to catch the replay, I would go back and do so, because that was good show.
It wasn't over there. They had one more fight they showed. It was a prelim, Stephan Bonner versus Krzysztof Szynski, and this turned into a war. I mean, it was almost like Bonner-Griffin. It was almost like Bonner-Griffin, and I mean, it was just a back-and-forth war. It went to the third round, and Bonner got cut, but it was cut by a headbutt, but the referee said it was cut by a punch. So when they stopped the fight, the doctor stopped it because it was bleeding like a fucking faucet. It was insane blood, and this fucking caller, man. Krzysztof Szynski was given the win by a TKO from a cut when if you're cut by a headbutt, it's supposed to be a no contest. So Bonner was pretty much screwed. But at the post-fight press conference, they're talking about doing an immediate rematch just because the fight was so exciting and Bonner got screwed. So.
They've got a quick spoiler from the ECW too. I know we're on UFC right now, but from the SmackDown tapings, they've got I had noted earlier that I had heard that they were gonna be wrestling matches on the NXT program. So they have yellow and black ring ropes over at the SmackDown tapings right now. So apparently that is obviously the NXT logo is black and yellow. So they are going to do live matches, and they've got that set up to be taped right now at the taping. So black and yellow ring ropes for next tonight. So there are going to be live matches on that show tonight. So
good deal. The poll here: what grade would you give UFC 110? B won out with 34% of the votes. D was next with 27% of the votes. That's just people who didn't see it, I guarantee it. C and A tied with 20% of the votes. So overall, people enjoyed the show. I would probably give it a B as well. I don't think it was a perfect show.
Yeah, I'd give it a B. I mean, all three events, Raw, Elimination Chamber, and UFC 110. Give them a B.
Yeah, agreed. That was UFC 110 from this past Saturday. Check out MMAnews.com for all your coverage, UFC and MMA related. We got a little break here before another big event happens. I believe the next big one is the UFC on Versus, which will be like March 18th, somewhere around there, I want to say. So we got a little while to go before the next UFC, but that's a good card too. So MMAnews.com for all your MMA needs.
Strikeforce is coming up pretty soon, right, on CBS. They're going to make that debut. It's got to be pretty soon, right?
I know they got the Strikeforce Challengers thing coming up. Well, I'll check right now.
Strikeforce Challengers is this Friday.
February 26th on Showtime. Then the WEC's March 6th, Sengoku March 7th, UFC on Versus March 21st. The next UFC pay-per-view is March 27th.
Oh, that's right. UFC's going to Versus too.
Yeah, the next Strikeforce on CBS is in April, so there's a while to go before that.
Right, no doubt. We've got so much. I mean, with WrestleMania, that'll probably be WrestleMania weekend too.
When is the next TNA pay-per-view?
I can.
Not this Sunday, right?
No, not this Sunday. We just had one last Sunday. It was back when we had Destination X for. Or that's the one that's coming up. Destination X is, go to TNAWrestlingNews.com. That's my TNA website. Sunday, March 21st. So we've got
That is this Sunday, ain't it?
No.
Oh, March 21st, you said.
Yeah. We're in February. It's February 23rd now, so we've got a while. A few weeks before the next TNA pay-per-view. We got Against All Odds. That's the one I was thinking of. Guys, get to our live chat room, WZROnline.com/chat. Once again, WZROnline.com/chat. We're going to do live shout-outs here in just a little bit, and we're going to take your live phone calls as well. I'll give out the number here in just a little bit. Before we get to news and rumors, we got to talk about the Ric Flair situation, what went down with that. and some other news as well. A bunch of stuff we got planned for you. Hall of Fame spoiler for next week, and the updated WrestleMania 26 card. I got a lot of stuff that I got to do. I got to post a lot of news and shit like that when we go off the air. So we may get out of here a little bit earlier. Who knows?
Thank God. I'm not feeling it this week. It feels like a bad.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it either, man. I'm not into it. You know what? I threw up earlier today, man. I woke up and I had.
I got a stomach thing going on too.
I don't know, man. I think I ate something. I ate some chicken last night, and it's just fucking with my stomach, I think. So I don't know. Whatever. But right now we got to talk about Kaz, my man. We got to talk about a situation with Kaz. Shoot, man, where do I
don't know anything about this or the Ric Flair, so this is all you.
I don't even know where to start with Kaz. Basically, you guys know, anybody that listens to WZR Radio, or if you follow TNAWrestlingNews.com, that's where I've been breaking all this stuff. You know that Kaz had been, he's been with Tracy Brooks for years now, and they just got married a few weeks ago. And after they got married, a few girls came to me. One was a stripper, one was a former WWE diva, and some call girls. One of them was a call girl, and then the most recent one is another stripper, I believe. I've got to pull it up on my email here. Basically, back in the day, there was a situation when Frankie Kazarian and Tracy were together, and Tracy was behind Frankie's back, was in a relationship with Robert Roode. And it was well known. It's well known within the locker room. So Kaz went out, and he got married a few weeks ago, and all these girls are coming out now saying, basically, I was with Kaz several weeks ago, several months ago, blah, 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 blah. So I had another one, and her name, by the way, there is two of them that I still can't confirm because they don't have any photos, they don't have any text messages. I can't put them up on the website unless I have some sort of proof to be able to confirm it. Well, I got an email from Veronica K, and she says,
it's a nice name.
Read this. I know it is not right. Veronica K. Sexy. But nonetheless, she says, since this has already come out and has died down a little bit, I would like to tell, she waited until it died down, I would like to tell you a little more on the wrestler Kaz. I work at a strip club, 2001 Odyssey, in Tampa. And keep in mind that I believe the other one worked at a strip bar in Tampa as well. Scarlet?
Yeah, Tampa's a big wrestling community.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, it's kind of close to Orlando as well. I mean, it's only about an hour drive away from what I remember. So she says, I work at a strip club, 2001 Odyssey in Tampa, and he has come in every now and then in the past for several years. In December, he approached me for some, this is her word, sexual favors. He was getting married in a month and told me that him and his fiancée agreed not to have sex for a month prior to their wedding and that he needed to get his sexual frustrations out. His fiancée was home a lot, so we would often agree to meet up quickly whenever we would have a chance. I have attached several photos as some proof that I do know him, including several from my phone. That was an email from Veronica K. Juicy, baby. Don't you love this?
Did you upload the photos? Do we get to see them or no?
Yeah. I got him. Don't you love that? I mean, hour number 2, we're always leaking that juicy gossip shit. You know what I mean? It's good, man.
This one's starting to get a little old, but I mean, it's crazy how many more girls keep coming out of the woodworks. You would think, goddamn, they've all hit you up by now. But
I know. It's crazy, dude. More and more of these girls email, and of course, I haven't even put this up on the website yet. I'm just breaking it now on WZR Radio. Obviously, I've got to type this up. I can't post her email. You know, I can read it to you guys because, to be honest with you, I just don't give a fuck. It's live radio, right?
Yeah.
But, no, I'm going to write something up. I'm going to tone it down, make it into a post, and, you know, report another mischief. Whatever. So be the case. So basically what we've got, Kaz is a hoe, future terror in the chat. No doubt. Kaz is pimping. Kaz is a hoe. Kaz has meat packing, whatever. So basically she sent in these photos, and that's what I'm going to let you see right now. They're not nude. I won't fuck with you guys like that this week. But basically, I want you to look at these photos, and it's like, it's that smirk that Kaz gives all the time. It's just this cocky smirk where he's like, you know what, I know I'm fucking around with my wife, but I want you, you know what I mean? And we're going to do this. So,
Legend Killer says, let's just say this, guys. Kaz is pimping more than the Pope. So there you go.
He is, man. So here's your link in the chat. For those that aren't in the chat, you can go to WZROnline.com/chat. I'll throw this in the chat a few more times. Don't want to spam. But WZROnline.com/Kaz. WZROnline.com/Kaz in all lowercase letters. So go there, and you can view these photos of Kaz. And basically, I'm gonna go through.
That doesn't tell me anything. They're just pictures of them women. I thought there'd be a girl on there.
Well, no. None of them are with her. But basically, like that first pic is that smirk. You know what I mean? There's a picture. That third picture, she says he's in the strip bar with a buddy that came in. So that's the third pic is him in the actual bar. I don't know what that fourth pick is, but I mean...
People are yelling at me in the chat, by the way. The clicking noise is me. That's why I'm not allowed to do anything on the show, because I produce it, and anytime I visit the website, you can hear me click, 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 click. You can hear all that crap, so my apologies.
Yeah. My bad. Well, anyway, so that's the latest from Kaz. It's not a big story or anything like that. I mean, you guys have already seen the post that I've put up with numerous women that have came out, and this is just another one that I can officially confirm with some photos. The other two haven't been able to, and I don't want to report them unless I can, because you don't want to say that the guy went out and fucking, fucked 10 girls and 8 of them are false. But the ones that I have put up on the website, and this one as well, which I'm going to put up on the website, are all confirmed, so that's that.
Is he wearing He-Man boxers? Someone said he's wearing He-Man boxers.
In picture number 2, I think it says, oh, is it? Yeah, it says, I got the power. Yeah, so that's...
Somebody else in the chat said Kaz is our Tiger Woods. Cena Matt Technician said Kaz is our Tiger Woods.
Yeah, I said the same thing to somebody. I don't know if it was you or I don't know if I said it on the radio.
Yeah, we were talking about the press conference Tiger Woods just had to apologize.
It's crazy, dude. I mean, it's like more and more girls come out, but the guy just got married. And a lot of this stuff, you got to remember that a lot of this stuff happened before they were married. I think there was only one that had, it occurred after they had been married. And then the guy that I talked to with TNA, I sent him an email last week at the TV tapings. I put this up on the website, and I said, "Hey, man, what was the deal? Were they around each other?" And he said, "Dude, he was never within 10 feet of her at the Impact taping." So apparently they just don't give a fuck. I guess Tracy fucked up in the past. Kaz fucked up recently. Forgive, forget, move on. We're married. And that's
Is it a coincidence, by the way, that he was playing the suicide character? This story breaks, and now he's himself again on TV. Is that a coincidence?
It depends on the angle that they go, if they bring it up in a storyline angle with him. And I haven't seen, obviously, we don't get a lot of backstage segments from the Impact tapings, so I don't know, man.
Still, I mean, just the fact that they had him out there as himself right after this, come on. Right after the story hits, he's no longer suicide, he's back to him being himself again,
It'll be interesting to see where they go, to see if there's any interaction, if he does anything with Tracy Brooks on TV or not. But it's just, I mean, more and more women just keep coming out, and it's like, wow, man. I mean, how many are there? You know what I mean? Tiger Woods is up to what, 16, 15? 14?
I don't follow none of that stuff. I hear from you.
Yeah, I mean, Kaz is up to, he's up to about 6 or 7 right now.
Go ahead, boy.
Yeah, right. Get it done, I guess.
Get that pussy.
Hey, if you're going to be married Tracy Brooks, you saw the Playboy photos not too long ago, and she's not all that.
I never saw those, actually.
Oh, really?
I think she's hot. I've never seen her naked, though, so maybe there's something going on.
The naked photos, not so. I mean, she's not bad. Sean C23 in the chat room says she's not bad. She's not horrible, but she's not great either, you know what I mean? And the guys, think about it. We talked about marriage when we opened up the show, and we're going to move on to marriage with this Ric Flair story here in just a second. But marriage, I mean, when you're locked in, right, and you're married, you're not supposed to. Obviously, you're not supposed to go out and cheat on your wife. But a lot of guys do. But basically, Cass is probably out there saying, "Well, shit, man. Before I go out and get married, I'm gonna go and get shit done." You know what I'm saying? As far as who knows, man.
Well, that's why you don't get married. You're never gonna be able to stay faithful to one person for your whole entire life. No. That's not even possible, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a crazy story. So I guess, like I said, guys, at the Impact tapings last week, Kaz wasn't actually helped out. You know how they do the match run-throughs earlier in the day at the Impact tapings. He was out there during Tracy Brooks' warm-up match, or when they mapped out the match for later that night. Kaz was out there as well. So who knows? I guess forgive and forget, and move on. So that's
Fly Fox in the chat says Tiffany has meat curtains.
You know, see, I thought Tiffany. We showed those photos. For those, do I still have them up? Let me see.
I think it's just Flash Tiffany.
I think it is. I think, go to, if you haven't seen them, if you weren't here last week and you want to see the Tiffany photos, you can go to WZROnline.com/Tiffany. Yeah, they're still up. So WZROnline.com/Tiffany. I don't think she's that beat up. She's not bad. I mean, all you guys in the chat would still do it. You know what I mean? Without a doubt. I mean, you could say that she's meaty, but in a heartbeat, if she knocked on your door and said, "Hey,"
that wouldn't slow me down at all.
Yeah, of course not. Wouldn't slow any of these people down either. Guys, get to our live chat room right now, WZROnline.com/chat, WZROnline.com/chat. Lots and lots of people in there tonight. All right, I guess we should move on to the Ric Flair story. We apparently...
We got somebody calling in for that Ric Flair story, too, by the way.
Do we?
Yeah, Legend Killer said he had a personal story he wanted to tell us. So I'm asking him to PM me his number so I know which one's him.
No doubt. The Ric Flair story, there was an article from ABC News earlier today that had said that Ric Flair had been hospitalized. I got a letter from Kristen Harris today. She says, regarding your most recent article, breaking news, Ric Flair hospitalized, and contrary to certain media reports, Ric has not been hospitalized in connection with this incident.
So what happened?
She says attached is an official and only statement released yesterday by Ric Flair's agent, Melinda Morris Zanoni of Legacy Talent and Entertainment. Please retract your incorrect breaking news story on TNAWrestlingNews.com and incorrect text in the body. Immediately contact me once this has been removed. So apparently he was not hospitalized as reported earlier. I put an update on the website. What happened was on Sunday night, I guess him and his wife went out to dinner, came back from dinner, and something happened back at home. And
we don't know exactly what happened. Did you beat him up with a weapon?
It was a simple assault, which means kicking, biting, scratching, things like that. It wasn't no weapon involved or anything like that. So I don't know. I mean, could just have been a case of you go out, you drink some beers at dinner time, and you get home, and shit happens when you get home.
Some kind of fight broke out, and she waited to get home and tear into his ass. I don't know. We do have a caller, Legend Killer from the chat is on the line here. He said he had something in conjunction with this Flair story. Legend Killer, what's up, buddy?
Nothing much, guys. Nothing much. First off, I want to throw a shout out to my boy Wayne Daly in the chat. He told me to shout him out, so I'm going to do that for him. But no, my dad works out at a gym up in Charlotte. I don't remember the name of it. I've only been a couple of times, but Ric Flair's in there occasionally, and I saw him in there once before with the woman that he was with, you know, his wife, and she was gorgeous. I don't know if anybody has seen a picture of her, but she was beautiful. Yeah. And I came in there after all this stuff happened. I was talking to him one day, and he's like, let me give you some advice, kid. He's like, don't ever get mad because the bitch is going to take everything from you when she leaves you. He said, you want to know what's kind of funny? But I don't remember his exact words right here, but he was just being stupid, you know. I think he was actually kind of drunk or something, but he was like, but you know, it's kind of funny about the whole thing. I'm like, what? He goes, the amount of money she took, I'll make back from the WWE in a month. Woo! It was hilarious. And he was just so fucked up. I don't know if he was drunk or if he was high or what. It was hilarious. He was just going on.
Did he really say woo after that?
He wooed, I swear to God. He wooed in the middle.
So he got a little promo.
It was beautiful. But, I mean, he was going on and on about how she was such a bitch and she did all this. And you know, he thinks she was two-timing behind his back. But Flair, to be honest with you, that whole situation was an idiot. If you're going to cheat, at least go out of your own city to cheat, man. If you got that kind of money, go across the country. I mean, come on. But that's all I got to say about
the thing about it is the guy's been married so many times. It's got to be something like control issues or something like that.
It must be. You know, I've been reading his biography. I don't know if anybody's read that. To Be the Man, it's pretty good. But a lot of people think that, you know, him playing around was just, you know, storyline back in the day. No, and like the first chapter of the book, he talked about when he was 17. He was a lifeguard at this pool, and he was sleeping with one of the kids' moms, and she was like 35 and married and stuff. It was hilarious. But that's really all I got to say about the Ric Flair story, guys. So I'll get back to modding in the chat room.
All right, buddy. Legend Killer, thanks for calling in, man.
All right, here's a weather update for you people in the chat room. There's a radar update. It seems like the snow is moving back into the area. Not that it ever stopped. I've been looking out the window the entire time here, and it's still coming down pretty good. Nonetheless, we've got a lot of snow coming. We're supposed to get 12 to 18 inches through the day tomorrow. So whatever. If you want to keep up, bookmark that page, and you guys can check the weather from Albany, New York. Let you know what's going on, right? Who cares? Who gives a fuck? Whatever, dude. All right, so, yeah, the Ric Flair deal, I mean, that's basically it. Following day, her mugshot came out. And listen, mugshots always look like shit, but I'll tell you what, you put some makeup on that woman, you saw the mugshot, right, on TMZ. She's not a bad-looking chick.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't look into the story at all yet. I haven't really settled in yet.
Yeah, she's not a bad-looking chick. I mean, it seems like she didn't have makeup or anything on, but I mean, she's obviously much younger than he is, and I don't know, the guy just doesn't learn, so whatever. More news. We're going to open up the
real quick, man, I'm sorry to interrupt you again. We have to, our buddy Daniel Humphreys, he does the YouTube channel for us. I forgot to shout him out and plug the YouTube channel last week. So everybody who wants to listen to archives, he says he's got 300 videos up, all WZR, a lot of past shows from years ago, things like that. So check out our official YouTube channel by going to youtube.com/user/WZR archive. It's youtube.com/user/WZR archive.
And one thing about the YouTube guy, he's sent me some emails. The archives, I put the archive up. It's usually up late Tuesday night, about an hour after we go off the air. So on later Tuesday night, by 11 o'clock Tuesday night, the archive is posted on the main news board over at WZROnline.com. So if you miss a show, go look in the archives over there, the headlines section. You probably have to scroll down quite a bit for past shows, but they are all posted on the main news board over there. WZROnline.com. Get the archive, like I said, usually Tuesday night. So that's that. We're going to open up the phone lines right now. It's 518-712-3070. Once again, 518-712-3070. Give us a call, whatever's on your mind, whatever you want to talk about, Raw, Elimination Chamber, UFC, news, rumors, WrestleMania, anything that's on your mind, give us a call, 518-712-3070. And get to the chat room, as I said earlier, WZROnline.com/chat.
All right, we have a caller on the line. I believe it's Unbroken from the chat. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
What's up? What's on your mind, man?
Yeah, last night when I was plowing snow, doing your pumps, I ran into Barry Sanders shoveling snow.
Did you really?
Swear. He lives over in like the north end of Detroit.
Home and tear into his ass. I don't know. We do have a caller, Legend Killer from the chat is on the line here. He said he had something in conjunction with this Flair story. Legend Killer, what's up, buddy?
Nothing much, guys. Nothing much. First off, I want to throw a shout out to my boy Wayne Daly in the chat. He told me to shout him out, so I'm going to do that for him. But no, my dad works out at a gym up in Charlotte. I don't remember the name of it. I've only been a couple of times, but Ric Flair's in there occasionally, and I saw him in there once before with the woman that he was with, you know, his wife, and she was gorgeous. I don't know if anybody ain't seen a picture of her, but she was beautiful. Yeah. And I came in there after all this stuff happened. I was talking to him one day, and he's like, let me give you some advice, kid. He's like, don't ever get married because the bitch is going to take everything from you when she leaves you. He said, you want to know what's kind of funny? I don't remember his exact words right here, but he was just being stupid, you know. I think he was actually kind of drunk or something, but he was like, but you know, it's kind of funny about the whole thing. I'm like, what? He goes, the amount of money she took, I'll make back from the WWE in a month. Woo! It was hilarious. And he was just so fucked up. I don't know if he was drunk or if he was high or what. It was hilarious. He was just going on.
Did he really say woo after that?
He wooed, I swear to God. He wooed in the middle.
So he got a little promo.
It was beautiful. But, I mean, he was going on and on about how she was such a bitch and she did all this. And, you know, he thinks she was two-timing behind his back. But Flair, to be honest with you, that whole situation was an idiot. If you're going to cheat, at least go out of your own city to cheat, man. If you got that kind of money, go across the country. I mean, come on. But that's all I have to say about
the thing about it is the guy's been married so many times. It's got to be something like control issues or something like that.
It must be. You know, I've been reading his biography. I don't know if anybody's read that. To Be the Man, it's pretty good. But a lot of people think that, you know, him playing around was just, you know, storyline back in the day. No, and like the first chapter of the book, he talked about when he was 17. He was a lifeguard at this pool, and he was sleeping with one of the kids' moms, and she was like 35 and married and stuff. It was hilarious. But that's really all I got to say about the Ric Flair story, guys. So I'll get back to mods in the chat room.
All right, buddy. Legend Killer, thanks for calling in, man.
All right, here's a weather update for you people in the
Christ.
chat room. There's a radar update. It seems like the snow is moving back into the area. Not that it ever stopped. I've been looking out the window the entire time here, and it's still coming down pretty good. Nonetheless, we've got a lot of snow coming. We're supposed to get 12 to 18 inches through the day tomorrow. So whatever. If you want to keep up, bookmark that page, and you guys can check the weather from Albany, New York. Let you know what's going on, right? Who cares? Who gives a fuck? Whatever, dude. All right, so, yeah, the Ric Flair deal, I mean, that's basically it. Following day, her mugshot came out. And listen, mugshots always look like shit, but I'll tell you what, you put some makeup on that woman, you saw the mugshot, right, on TMZ. She's not a bad-looking chick.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't look into the story at all yet. I haven't really settled in yet.
Yeah, she's not a bad-looking chick. I mean, it seems like she didn't have makeup or anything on, but I mean, she's obviously much younger than he is, and I don't know, the guy just doesn't learn, so whatever. More news. We're going to open up the phone
real
line.
Quick, man, I'm sorry to interrupt you again. We have to, our buddy Daniel Humphreys, he does the YouTube channel for us, so I forgot to shout him out and plug the YouTube channel last week. So everybody who wants to listen to archives, he says he's got 300 videos up, all WZR, a lot of past shows from years ago, things like that. So check out our official YouTube channel by going to youtube.com/user/WZR archive. It's youtube.com/user/WZR archive.
And one thing about the YouTube guy, he's sent me some emails. The archives, I put the archive up. It's usually up late Tuesday night, about an hour after we go off the air. So on later Tuesday night, by 11 o'clock Tuesday night, the archive is posted on the main news board over at WZROnline.com. So if you miss the show, go look in the archives over there, the headlines section. You probably have to scroll down quite a bit for past shows, but they are all posted on the main news board over there. WZROnline.com. Get the archives, like I said, usually Tuesday night. So that's that. We're going to open up the phone lines right now. It's 518-712-3070. Once again, 518-712-3070. Give us a call, whatever's on your mind, whatever you want to talk about, Raw, Elimination Chamber, UFC, news, rumors, WrestleMania, anything that's on your mind, give us a call, 518-712-3070. And get to the chat room, as I said earlier, WZROnline.com/chat.
All right, we have a caller on the line. I believe it's Unbroken from the chat. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
What's up? What's on your mind, man?
Yeah, last night when I was plowing snow, doing your pumps, I ran into Barry Sanders shoveling snow.
Did you really?
Swear. He lives over in like the north end of Detroit.